Ron Mallett has a vision, he wants to journey in period. The isn't simple imagination, Mallett is a respectable prof of physical science. I believe of myself as creature and common man in a desire, and my desire is the opportunity of period journey, he says. Professor Mallett has requested to construct a period car for largest of his lifetime. His desire, he explains, can be tracked to a tragical occasion previous in his lifetime. Ron's dad, a hard cigarette smoker, dead of a cardiac assault at the age of 33, while Professor Mallett was fair 10-year. Ron was desolate and withdrew in his books. This lid trapped my focus, but it was while I recite the within, and it told, research human beings aware really so how period is fair a type of area and how we can go striker and a go in period, fair as we can in area while I recite how I told, the is beautiful. Professor Mallett explains, if I could construct a period car, later I could go behind in the history and see my dad once again and perhaps rescue his lifetime and changing all. Period journey may audio distant fetched, but scientists are already studying several mysteries of environment. How could one day see Ron's vision executed? Albert Einstein mined the 3 dimensions of area were related to period, that serving as a for measurement. He named the framework area time, and he's the pattern of the world how we use present. But Einstein as well mined it was probable to deform area time, creation a axle. The event is named a worm, and it can be visualized as a tube in 2 ends, every discovery in various points in area time. Wormholes might already exist natural in the universe, really, scientists in Russia are hard to use wireless telescopes to discover them. But with wormholes for period journey wouldn't be simple. The near ones could be lot lighting years off. And though if you could get to them and later pull through the travel via them, down there's no warranty wherever thou end up. But several physicists include speculated how we might be capable to evoke up made to order wormholes at several spot in the next, although we now include no concept how. Physical science as well predicts how wormholes would include a addiction of crumbling, devastating everything's within them. If a period car is always to utilize them, we'd include to discover a way to halt the uncomfortable characteristic. The mystery event of black power might ensure a decision. In the 1990s, astronomers found how the extension of the world was acceleration up, quite rather than retarding downward as might include been anticipated. A worm will just job for period journey if its jaw can be detained outdoor for length, quite how it allows thing to journey via it. How requires thing named adverse power, that doesn't very already exist in the daily planet. But the black power how permeates the universe fits the draft, if we can drawing out which it is, we might be capable to prop up outdoor a worm length quite to go in one end and out the sum. We don't aware if we are capable to do a worm, if house formally during our capabilities. But who knows which a next humane civilization is departure to be capable to make, says Professor Davis. Technique has progressive so quickly how perhaps area and period themselves are thing how can go by our monitoring. Wormholes already exist at the more than speculation end of physical science, offer one attitude to traveling in period. But Ron Mallett has else. He has painted up plans for an factual period car, and his conception was encouraged by a volume he recite at age 12 on Albert Einstein's equations. Professor Mallett has constructed a spreadsheet top unit how illustrates principles he thinks could be utilized to construct a actual, work period car. At first, lasers are utilized to produce a circulatory shaft of lighting. The area within the circle laser treatment should be twisted. Love vigorous a cup of coffee, the College of Connecticut prof explains. Since area and period are closely associated, warping area should as well deform period. Professor Mallett's theoretic job has shown how, taking into account quite laser treatment rate in a little quite area, it should be probable to change the usually line time scale we all dwell. If area is creature twisted firmly quite, the line time scale is departure to be twisted in a hinge. If period all of a flash is twisted in a hinge, how allows us the opportunity of traveling in the history, says Ron Mallett. Yet, in procedure to do its job, the conception would need extensive amounts of force and a way of declining all to a microscopical scope. But one day we include a period car, with it effectively we'll need a comprehensive insight of period himself. The usually recognized type is how the world is an unchangeable unit of area-time. The concept arises immediately of Einstein's equations. This dinosaurs are all out down there sometime in the history-making dino material, we're all there now and all of the next is out down there sometime in area-time too much. One way to visualize the unit pattern is to believe of some places in period as creature love some places in area. We are there in Sydney, but down there are some human beings arranged in Singapore and London. Such places are excellently actual, he's fair how we aren't at them, says Dr. Milling, machine operator. The is nice news story for the promising period traveler, since it suggests down there is anything to halt us of exchange wherever we are now for several some location and period. Yet, importantly, it as well implies how the history, this and the next are already spelled, so how if we were to journey behind in period, we wouldn't be capable to change it. To get an frequently quoted sample, we really be capable to murder whose grandfather so how their descendants will stop to already exist in the next. Period journey is perhaps unfeasible, he says. If which's actual is the this time and the history is just actual in the feeling how down there are memories and accounting records of it in the this, and the next is yet to already exist down there's anywhere to come. His fellow professor Neil Turek, CEO of the Periphery Institution, thinks the supernatural planet of quantized physical science could be key to answering machine the issue. The region of physical science emerges at really little libra, wherever the rules of classic physical science we learned on in our high school textbooks break down downward. For example, in the quantized planet, it might be probable for a particulate to be in lot places at one day. I believe he's precise to me how down there is several likelihood of us departure ago in period, he says. In quantized physical science, anything is unfeasible, suspended particles journey via walls. Professor Turek explains how period journey remnant a remote expect since no one very has any believable concept of how to go in period order currently. But he adds, I should never say never, since several smart men will go on and speak you how to break down the guideline.